The rain hit the docks of New York like bullets falling from the sky. Cargo containers stood motionless beneath the fog, while armed men in long black coats watched every movement from the shadows. Exactly. Las 2:13 de la mañana. A shipment worth more than $50 million vanished without a trace before it could even leave the harbor. No police report was filed. No news station talked about it. But inside the hidden world of organized crime, that disappearance sent shockwaves across 3 continents. Somewhere in the darkness, someone had made a move against the most feared criminal empires on Earth. And everyone knew what that meant. War was coming. Far away in Tokyo, deep beneath the neon lights of Kabukicho, an elderly Yakuza boss sat silently inside a private room surrounded by tattooed enforcers. His organization had ruled Japan's underground for decades through discipline, secrecy, and absolute loyalty. Unlike common street gangs, the Yakuza operated like a hidden government, controlling gambling rings, financial fraud, political corruption, and international smuggling networks worth billions. They believed in patience and precision. Every move was calculated. Every betrayal was punished without mercy. But for the first time in years, fear entered the room when intelligence reports revealed that someone had been infiltrating their money laundering operations across Asia. Millions had disappeared overnight. The old boss slowly placed his cup of sake on the table and whispered only one sentence. Someone is challenging the balance. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away in the mountains of Colombia, whispers about the return of the Medellín Cartel began spreading through the criminal underworld. Officially, the cartel had died with Pablo Escobar years earlier. But the truth was far darker. The empire had never completely disappeared. It had evolved. Hidden alliances between former traffickers, mercenaries, corrupt military officers, and young drug lords had rebuilt the network in silence. Their methods were even more terrifying than before. Entire villages disappeared overnight. Witnesses were executed publicly to spread fear. Politicians who refused cooperation were found dead within days. Cocaine routes stretching from South America to Europe and the United States were once again under their control, generating fortunes powerful enough to buy armies. To them, fear was more valuable than money. In Sicily and New York, the Cosa Nostra watched everything carefully. Unlike the explosive violence of the cartels or the disciplined silence of the Yakuza, the Italian mafia mastered infiltration. For generations, they had buried themselves inside legitimate businesses, labor unions, casinos, ports, banks, and political systems. They didn't just control crime, they controlled institutions. Judges disappeared. Witnesses changed their stories. Entire elections were influenced behind closed doors. The mafia's greatest weapon was invisibility. People feared what they could not prove existed. But when one of their top financial brokers was assassinated in Rome after secretly meeting Asian businessmen connected to the Yakuza, the old families realized something impossible was happening. Someone was trying to destroy the balance of power that had existed for decades. Then came the leak. A classified collection of financial records surfaced in the black market, exposing secret offshore accounts, hidden partnerships, assassination payments, and government connections tied to all 3 organizations. Whoever possessed those files had the power to collapse empires. Panic spread instantly. Men who had survived wars, prison, and betrayals suddenly became paranoid. Trusted allies turned into suspects overnight. Conversations were recorded. Bodyguards disappeared. Entire crews vanished after being accused of betrayal. Nobody knew who stole the information, but every organization blamed the others. The tension finally exploded in Hong Kong. Inside an abandoned skyscraper overlooking the harbor, representatives of the Yakuza, Cosa Nostra, and the Medellín Cartel agreed to meet in secret. Armed guards filled every hallway while helicopters circled above the city. The atmosphere inside the room felt like a ticking bomb. The Yakuza delegation arrived first, silent and emotionless. The Italians entered second, dressed like businessmen, hiding decades of bloodshed behind expensive suits. The cartel representatives arrived last, carrying the cold confidence of men who had survived absolute chaos. Nobody shook hands. Nobody smiled. Each organization believed the others were preparing for war. For several long minutes, silence dominated the room until one Italian mafioso slowly leaned forward, lit a cigarette, and spoke words that changed everything. There is only room for one empire to rule the shadows. And then the lights suddenly went out.